respect the pick. You see, we're missing somebody.
Sans Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden can't make it because he has class, and we don't typically do these on a weekday like this, but we didn't even have anything planned to do, but we decided we were going to do a Friends episode because of the passing of Matthew Perry. It kind of shocked us on Saturday, October 28th. In case you don't know this, I'm sure you do. Matthew Perry died. He was 54 years old.
It's all over the news. You turn on, you put on Yahoo and Google, and it's articles and articles and articles about Matthew Perry. And this one douchebag who used to write for Saturday Night Live, I'm not even going to say his name. I don't even know his name. But he's like the one dude who's like ripping Matthew Perry apart. Like, oh, another junkie dead. It's like, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah.
Go get a fucking life.
Just because somebody has an addiction doesn't mean they deserve to die.
Exactly. Go fuck yourself.
Christ. Every time I get on here, Grayson has to freaking message me.
That's Mark's son, his youngest son.
Every time. Every time I'm on the show, doing the show, Grayson. So anyways, Matthew Perry, he was, we love Friends or we didn't love Friends. What do you think?
Well, I loved Friends when it first came on. I was telling you earlier.
Not when it first came on. Not when it first came on.
Oh, right. We didn't watch seasons 1 or 2. Your wife got us into it, Michelle, right? Yep. Her and her family used to watch it all the time. And she showed us.
Got you guys into it.
Right. You watched season 3 episode, what is it, 2?
Yep, the one when no one's ready. I didn't watch any other episodes.
Yeah, we used to watch it like over and over and over again. They taped it, and they had that one and the one where Carol gives birth to Ross's baby.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, they replayed that episode, and Michelle recorded that one, and we saw those 2 episodes over and over and over again before we ever recorded more.
Do you remember the beginning, like Saturday Night Live promo was Tom Hanks?
Yes.
About 2 Emmys and.
Yeah, and he lost one in a poker game with Gabe Kaplan.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that very well.
Saying that promo.
Well, yesterday was Halloween, and Tandy wanted to watch a bunch of Halloween movies, so we watched Lady in White and we watched Young Frankenstein, which we do every year. And then we were scrolling through our list, and she ran into Young Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, and I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, commercial. Yeah. Because we always tape those movies.
Crazy when you had VHSs, right?
Right.
That was, and that's one of the ways we started watching Friends. Is we had originally recorded Dick Van Dyke Show off of Nick at Night because we enjoyed Dick Van Dyke on Nick at Night, that marathon, so much that I didn't want to give that up ever. Right. I wanted to be able to watch Dick Van Dyke always.
That was the last thing we did every night. We watched Dick Van Dyke, and then eventually Mary Tyler Moore came on after Dick Van Dyke, and then after Mary Tyler Moore, we turned off the TV, time to go to bed.
Yep.
It's the last thing we did every single weeknight.
So then after that, Michelle thought it looked like a great idea, so she started doing it with Friends, and then we had all these Friends episodes, and, those early Friends episodes, especially that first one, like the way Matthew Perry talked and the way he delivered his jokes, that's a lot of how we talked and delivered our jokes for our
still do it. Like if I'm waiting for you to say something, I'll sit here and I'll just go.
Right.
And that's what he did. Stuff like that. Like, are they coming? There's a lot of things that we do is because of, Friends and Matthew Perry. And to this day, I'm still trying to get his season 3 hair. I was like obsessed with his hairstyle. I always hated my hair when I was younger. I'm like, how do I get my hair like that?
Like a season, there's earlier stuff.
The end of season 2 into season 3. I'm always like, I get jealous of guys who have like really cool hair, and I've never had good hair. Yeah, I should thank my lucky stars.
We can talk about like how we had our falling out with Friends. Everybody like here's a perfect example. Our sister Jenny, she never liked Friends. She didn't like Friends. She used to pick on us.
She used to make fun of us.
And then she starts loving it, and then we start not loving it. It's like we feel like we found smarter television, right?
I agree.
Say what you want about Friends. If you think Friends is great, fine. It's not the most clever comedy in the world,
right? And it certainly doesn't hold up well. There's a lot of
Yeah, there's some iffy
Joey
things.
was a little irresponsible, and
Seinfeld has that too, but
right,
Seinfeld's a lot more clever.
a lot of sexist stuff.
But still in Friends, it does feel a little bit like comfort television, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
like
And
it's
there
easy
was,
watching most of the time.
and back in the '90s, we were busy kids. We were always playing baseball. We were always playing basketball. We were always on those sports teams. And then we were always, had friends over. We're playing wiffle ball in the backyard. So we didn't pick up on a lot of shows. I watched maybe a few episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, live for a couple weeks in a row. Maybe Blossom, I remember watching it at a point. Maybe
Married with
Cheers and
Children.
The Cosby Show when we were younger. But
Married
like
with Children.
Friends, Married. Oh yeah, I love Married with Children. I keep forgetting about Married with Children.
Yeah, we did watch that.
But Joey Tribbiani was on Married with Children, right?
But none of
Matt
them were
LeBlanc.
appointment television to us until Friends came along.
Right, Friends. Excuse me. By the way, I'm a little under the weather. If you haven't noticed already, I have a cough drop. I know you're not supposed to do that, but my throat was killing.
We will forgive you.
Thank you. But it got to the point where we would play basketball every Tuesday and Thursday, and Friends was on Thursday nights. So while we were out playing basketball, our girlfriends at the time were recording Friends so we could watch it when we were done with basketball. And then, of course, we kept the episodes and watched them over and over and over. And it became, like you said, comfort TV where you can watch it every night to help put you to sleep. And, some days you just have a marathon. And what Tandy and I used to do is every Thanksgiving we would watch all the Thanksgiving episodes because they were famous for their Thanksgiving episodes. And they were a lot of fun. They were really fun.
The football one in particular was really
yeah. That was in my top 10 list. Do we have a top 10 list? I would assume we have a top 10 list, right? Or top 11 list.
We don't do top 10s.
Right, we do top 11 lists.
Top 11. Before we get to that,
okay.
Which characters did you like the most and which ones didn't you like? I mean, there's 6 of them. Who's the worst character on the show?
I don't like Rachel Green. I think she's selfish. I think she's greedy. I think she's a little stuck up. And, she gets a lot of credit for getting out there and she wants to do her thing. She wants to make it on her own after being spoiled by daddy for so long. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I get that. But you're also selfish. As soon she breaks up with Ross because, they were on a break. They were on a fucking break. I don't care what she says.
They were on a break.
So he bangs the copy chick, the copy lady. And then she breaks up with him and he keeps trying to win her back. And she's like, no. And then as soon as he finds Bonnie and he likes her and they're having fun and they're going on trips together, that freaking selfish bitch. I want you back, Ross. Wow. But you have to tell me that it was your fault. Fuck you,
listen,
Rachel.
Here's my thing about Rachel Green, and I think Jennifer Aniston is by far the best actor on the show.
Yes, I agree with that too.
It's not even close, not just because I think she's beautiful, but she was, listen, she played that character selfish, but also lovable. Like, you might not love her. You don't think she's lovable, but a lot of people think that that Rachel Green, even though she's selfish and stuck up and all about herself, she's also lovable. She was able to play that both ways, and I think that was really good for her. Where a lot the other characters on the show were one-dimensional, especially as the show moved on. I mean, that's what happened in every TV show. The characters become caricatures of themselves.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
They become, as TV shows go on, the characters become less and less believable. And I think part of that is a little, I don't want to say I don't write television, but it's a little lazy lazy writing. TV shows can write themselves. We could write an episode of Friends now just based on what the characters, the jokes, and you know what I mean?
Right. So past stuff that they've done.
Right. And that kind of happens. I think David Schwimmer was really good early on, but then he became a character of himself. Him
the most of anybody. Him and Monica, the most out of any of them.
And Chandler, unfortunately, who was everybody's favorite early on, he kind of became lame, right? By the end of the show, to me, he was the worst. He was the least funny character.
Yeah, Joey was, towards the later end of but I I listen. I consider myself to this day still a Friends expert. I said it. That's the word, expert, from seasons 1 to 5,
Yeah,
and then six I know pretty well, and then 7 and on barely remember
yeah,
any of it
yeah. I
all. I've
mean,
seen those like once or
that's
twice through.
isn't that how Sunny is for us too? I'm a Sunny expert up until season 9, probably, or maybe season 10. The season with the gang broke D. That's the end for
Yeah,
me.
Sunny, it gets tougher and tougher because their seasons get so far apart. You know,
Yeah,
same thing with Larry. Like they'll do their Curb Your Enthusiasm. You do a season, you know, in 2012 to 13, and then 13 to 14, and then there won't be another one until 17 or 18. You know,
yeah. Curb Your
so
Enthusiasm. They have like 10 seasons, but it's been 20 years. It's like
right,
10 seasons since 2000 or something. Whatever, you know
right.
what I mean?
Larry ages like 14 years in between
Right,
seasons, so
right. Especially
it gets
recently.
so. And then Sunny's kind of the same way now. So it's a little
Yeah.
bit tougher because all those years kind of blend together. When Friends,
But
it was
Friends
just
was
boom, boom,
one of
boom,
the
boom, boom,
shows,
boom, 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 boom.
one of the shows that we got to watch that had a lot of episodes, right? That I kind of missed that about TV shows
Right,
having all
25
the
episodes a year.
episodes. Yeah, yeah. I don't like the 10 episode thing, but
Right.
I guess what
Sunny, it's
one's
not even that, right? Isn't it like
what
6
can
or
you do about
7?
it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But those aren't network
anyways,
shows
Friends.
either.
I'm trying to think of some of the things that Friends like that. What Matthew Perry moments from Friends, right? What are
Uh
some?
huh.
I always thought one of his first really good episodes was the blackout. I actually had that in my top 10. I thought him in the ATM vestibule with Jill Goodicke. I thought that was a good
Uh
scene.
huh.
He was funny. He was funny in there. He
Yeah.
was vulnerable because he was embarrassed, but
Do we
that was
do we
good.
ever know why he was missing a tip of one of his fingers?
I don't remember. I don't
But
remember. We should
but
look
if
that
he
up.
the episode that you notice it the most is with Eddie when he's trying to get rid of
Yeah,
Eddie and Eddie's all crazy.
yeah,
And he puts his hand on his shoulder and you can see his whole
yep.
hand right there. Well, what's
Yeah.
that
Look
doing
at that.
there? You know, he even calls
Yeah,
attention to it. We're just gonna take that, and
yeah,
put it right back into Mr. Pocket. You
yeah.
know
He's
that
missing
episode,
one part of his
but I don't
finger.
remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember why.
he was born in that. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll
But
I'll,
another
I'll
thing you
find
got to
out.
remember about
I've
Matthew
heard
Perry,
stories about what?
the other thing you got to remember about Matthew Perry is that he was pretty much a world class athlete. He was like a star tennis player
Yeah,
when
he
he
was a
was
really
younger,
good tennis player too. Yep,
and
he sure was.
and the news is coming out that he was playing pickleball, which is like between ping pong and tennis. You know, for
Yeah,
2 hours right before he died. That's what he was doing. His whole last day was playing pickleball at the country club.
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
rough.
it's very sad to hear because it's he was very open over the past couple months. He had his book, and he's coming out about how his stories about how
It
many times he almost died, and he said that
seems
he
like
was
he's
in
gotten his shit together. Yeah,
he was in a certain condition where like 6 other people died that day from the same thing, but he was the one
hmm
that was saved and he lived, and for some weird reason he like called out Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves
yeah,
is like, I don't know why he'd call me out. But, you know,
yeah. It
Matthew
was weird. I
Perry,
don't think he
no, he
didn't
didn't mean
mean
it like
it
that.
specifically to Keanu Reeves. He was just using Keanu Reeves, as a placeholder, and that you know what I
Right,
mean. He
right.
was just using him as a placeholder,
Because
but
from what
it
I hear,
didn't.
Keanu Reeves is like the man. He's like one of the nicest dudes in Hollywood, from
Tom
what I've
Hanks,
ever heard about him.
Keanu Reeves, and Paul Rudd. That's the guys that everybody
Yeah,
says is so
yeah.
great. Not you, Rock. You know we don't like you on this show.
Well, Jaden doesn't like The Rock. I have no
I'm,
problem with The
I'm
Rock.
still waiting for him to Kool-Aid man through the door, through the wall. That would be.
Well, tell you what, now that we've been doing this a little bit more remotely, let him Kool-Aid through Jaden's dorm.
Yeah, okay.
Save my wall.
And you're the one you don't like. Jaden doesn't like Ken Jeong either.
I'm not a fan. I think he's overrated, but I certainly don't hate him.
He can
He
come
was
on.
very funny in The Hangover, but sometimes one and done. Okay, that's good. You were funny in there, but
Right,
that's enough. That's
right,
enough.
right.
No more. We're
Right. When
done.
people start trying to carry something, they're better off just as the backup. I always thought Will Ferrell was good and just character role, not carrying a show or a movie. I don't love Will Ferrell. If he's not playing Buddy the Elf, I got nothing for him.
I think he's funniest when he's not starring in movies. I mean, Anchorman. You know, I love Anchorman. I know you hate it. I loved Elf. Step Brothers was okay, and the Ricky Bobby one, what was that? Talladega Nights. That one was okay too, but after that, it's like straight downhill, and
So
he's
what
better
about
off as a
Matthew
side
Perry?
guy.
Matthew Perry was in a couple of good movies too.
Oh
Like the
my
whole
god,
9 yards is great. The whole 9 yards is really good, right?
yeah,
I
I thought
love
it was
that.
super fun. A lot of twists and
Yeah,
turns, and
it's
Bruce Willis
funny
was really
too.
funny in it. Bruce Willis is in
Hmm.
rough shape too. He's like he
Yeah,
can
he is.
barely function anymore. I hear he can like barely talk because he's got some form of dementia.
Yeah, that's too
So
bad.
that's another sad story. I
Nine
mean,
yard, or the
he's
movie
only
with
late
Selma,
60s, early 70s. What?
the movie with Selma Hayek.
Oh, Fools Rush In. Yeah, that was his. That was the first movie I remember seeing him in. I took
I saw him in the movie. I saw that in the movie theater.
me too. I took two different girls to see that movie. Oh well, let's go to a movie. I dated two
It's kind
different
of a
girls at
dick
different.
move. Like if you're gonna take a different girl, take her to a different movie, right? It's kind
Right,
of a dick
right.
move.
Well, there wasn't anything good to watch in February of 1996. What can I say?
It's kind of a dick move. Kind of a dick move.
I loved that. The last girl I took loved it.
Could it be any more of a dick move? Right?
Yeah,
That's why he got famous at talking like that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know when he does it. He gets mocked for doing it more than he ever really did it. You gotta stop looking at your hair, man. Just stop.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
You don't have Matthew Perry hair.
As much as
Matthew
I
Perry
wish I
dated
did.
Julia Roberts, right? That was a big
Did they really date?
they were a big couple at when
Yeah,
Friends
apparently
first
he
started.
dated Gwyneth Paltrow too
Oh
before
yeah,
either one of them
yeah.
were famous. And
Mhm.
Nev Campbell, right? Isn't that Party of Five girl?
I do believe so. Yeah,
They were in a
he
movie.
never.
That movie was decent too. What was it? Two to Tango or something like that?
Yep, yep.
With the dude from I can't remember his name. The guy from American Horror Stories. The first couple Dylan something.
Oh, Dylan McDermott.
I think that's who it is. Yeah. He was in that movie too. Something about they thought he was gay and he wasn't, and he used that to get closer to Nev Campbell, and they started dating or something like that. But I remember that one being okay. I remember liking that one a little bit.
But what about
Yeah,
Friends moments that you remember too?
Friends moments. I mean, if you go back and watch me doing impressions of my teachers at a talent show, they were cheering and woohooing. I went, no woohooing, no woohooing. You know,
Oh,
because that's what Matthew Perry did it because he was hungover and they were woohooing him, and he's like, no woohooing, no woohooing. And
well,
I
the
used
one
it in the phrase there.
when he got it was pretty good when he got handcuffed. He got handcuffed and he's stuck in it in
Yeah,
Rachel's
that one's funny.
boss's office.
Rachel, could you come in here for a moment?
Chandler in the box was good too, right?
Yeah.
Chandler in the box.
Right. I
Oh,
listen.
the meaning of the box is twofold.
Yeah, good stuff, man. It's just so sad when you hear that he was, he was coming back.
Yeah,
But
dude, isn't that what happened with Carrie Fisher too?
I don't know. I mean, her whole life, she had a bunch of stuff going on, drugs, alcohol.
On Chandler in the bathtub, he was funny there.
I don't remember. Again, that's 7 or later, so I don't know it as well.
In the bathtub, you don't remember that episode?
When he really likes the bathtub, or the one when he's with Monica and they're hiding Monica.
Okay,
that I know.
Joey and I can get some chicken. That that.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
When he moves to Yemen,
Diet Coke.
Remember when he's going to go to Yemen?
Yeah, just to get out from Janice.
Can I go to Yemen? Can I stay with you? Look,
I mean,
got
he
my
was funny.
Little Joey Tribbiani.
Is that
Funko
what
Pop.
that is?
I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
You can take a picture of that in the Friends Experience. That's
what
pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I could put that up in post. Oh, see, so like you said, we kind of had a falling out with Friends when we found shows like The Office and Arrested Development and Sunny that were so much smarter than Friends. So we kind of felt like we outgrew Friends. You know what I mean? It touched on a few more sensitive issues like the war in Iraq, and then Sonny in The Office talk about racism a lot and sexuality and stuff like that. Where Friends, you get it a little bit because in the first 2 seasons, there's a lot of, Ross's wife left him for another woman, so there's a little bit of sexuality in there, but it's much more controversial than The Office and Sunny, the way they handle it. In South Park, I'm a huge South Park fan, but I kind of, we kind of, put it in the back burner. We stopped watching it as much, especially since 7, 8, and 9 seasons were so bad. And then Tandy and I went to New York City to watch the Yankees play, and I found that they had this Friends experience, and Tandy still loves the show. She watches it when I'm, playing poker or softball or baseball or whatever. So I was like, hey, it's your 40th birthday. I'll take you to that. And it was so much fun. If you're a Friends fan and if you have the chance, it is so worth the money. They had like a little museum of props. Like they had the dollhouse that Phoebe made, and they had like a bunch of the costumes that they wore, their outfits. You could pose for pictures. Like there's a picture of me and Tandy busting through a chapel door, like we just got drunk and married, like Ross and Rachel in season 5. And they have a couch. They have this big couch set up on a staircase, so you can take a picture recreating Pivot. That's another classic.
A lot of people love that. Yeah.
But it was so fun. They had this big plastic fake outfit like you just showed on the Funko Pop. You put your chin on the thing, and it looks like you're wearing that, and you hold it out. And you can take a picture on the dog, that porcelain dog coming in like they just won the apartment from Monica and Rachel. And they had the full set, Chandler's apartment and Monica's apartment. I felt like I was in Monica's apartment. She said she felt like she was more in Chandler's apartment. But to me, I felt more like this is what Monica's apartment would have been like. Chandler's, it was so big and open. And I thought Chandler's place was supposed to be shittier, right?
Mm-hmm.
They always talk about how Monica's was better. So they had Phoebe's cab.
Monica's was a lot more cluttered. They had Central Perk, right?
Right, they had Circa, and I was wrong. They had the entrance like kind of off to the left behind you. I always thought the entrance was like right behind you. And so in the video I took, I had it like I was like making fun of them. I'm like, the thing is right behind you,
from the
but it was
couch,
off to the side.
It's a little bit to the right. Yeah.
Well, but if you're facing away from the entrance, it's to your left.
If you're sitting on the couch, it's behind you to the left a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at it. I'm like, this is terrible. But you can take a picture on that couch. You can take your picture on the couch in front of the fountain. That's how they start you off. It's like a fake version of the fountain that they dance in at the beginning of the show. But man, if you're a Friends fan, you've got to do it. There was one in Miami. If I'd have knew that, I would have took Tandy again because we were just in Miami to leave before we left for our cruise.
My wife would love it. Michelle, my wife would love it. I mean, we watched Friends because of her, right? Because I watched it because of you, her, and you because of me.
Right.
I'll tell you what, that I did get sick and tired of that damn song.
Yeah. I think everybody makes jokes about their theme songs. Like Harrison Ford would always say, if he went to accept an award or give an award to someone else, right before his speech, they play dun 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 dun, and he'd go out and he'd say, "That music follows me everywhere." and I remember Matthew Perry, as a matter of fact, before either accepting an award or giving out an award, they played the Friends theme, and he said, "No, you play the entire song," making fun of it because they cut it off. But yeah, the music. Ugh.
So you, me, and Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
The Respect to Pick regulars, and then part of the Respect to Pick family, our wives, Michelle, my wife, did our top 10, and we made our top 11 out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start that right now. Number 11, the one with all the.
Hold on, this is the top 11 Friends episodes of all time.
Friends episodes, and they all start with the one with the, or the one where the one and they whatever. There's always the one with.
Right.
So the one with all the jam. I don't know how that made it. That's not that great.
I hate that episode. It's one of my least favorite episodes. It's terrible acting when Courtney Cox's ex there, Paul Arquette? David Arquette.
He's
when
not in
he's
there.
yeah, he plays the stalker, chasing Phoebe around.
Oh, Jason Phoebe.
Right, thinking it's Ursula.
Yeah,
That
that's
those
not.
two following each other is so terrible. They're like so close together, and like the sets are so fake looking, like the subway and when they're on the street, it looks terrible. I never cared for
Yes.
that episode, and it followed one of the best episodes ever. So I mean, that's another
Yeah.
thing that it has going against it.
Well, the one thing you'll isn't that the first one he has this arm in a sling? Isn't
Yeah,
that?
yeah. He really hurt his arm shooting Lost in Space, right? Matt LeBlanc was filming Lost in Space, and he hurt his arm, and he had to have it in a sling, so
I
they had
thought
to
he
write
hurt
it
his
into the
arm on the show.
episode.
No, he hurt his arm in the episode previous when he was jumping on.
Oh, that's
jumping
right.
on
That's
the
right. And the chair one.
into the chair.
I
And
think
they looked at each other, and then they looked at the chair, and then he ran. They both ran to the chair, and Joey got under. That's when he dislocated his shoulder or whatever. So
now,
then they started.
yes, I remember that.
And there's a Chandler Matthew Perry. There's a perfect example of how we used to deliver all of our jokes and all of our comedy. You see, Joey, that's why your parents told you not to jump on the bed, right?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? He did that.
Now that you mentioned that and you made me triggered my memory, I remember on the reunion that they filmed a couple years ago, they showed a clip to the one where he actually hurt his shoulder, and they describe it how it happened. So yeah, my bad.
He looked terrible in that reunion, Matthew Perry.
Yeah, it looks like he just had dental work done, so I think that's why he sounded like he was in rough shape. Yeah.
Okay, so now hold on. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So the next are tied for 10th.
Okay,
the
so we
one
got
with
10th and 9th coming up.
The one with the jellyfish. Well, I actually just let these be tied so we could have more episodes.
Okay.
The one with the jellyfish and the one where Ross and Rachel, So
really?
That was from Michelle. She really likes those romantic ones.
I can see where the second one makes it high on the list, but I can't imagine that the jellyfish episode makes it that high.
Well,
makes it
some
on my
people
list.
Some people like the there was nowhere we were alone and tired and there was nowhere to go. Right. That whole part, and that's right. I stepped up, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good episode. That was episode 1 of season 4, right? The jellyfish. They were in Montauk from Phoebe's real mother.
Montauk, yeah, and then that's I so do not or whatever, right? Ross and
right.
Fine by me, right? Wasn't that one?
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay, so then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8 is Ross Gets High.
This one is one of my favorites. Another Thanksgiving episode. He hid from his parents that he got high, and it's the episode where Rachel made the trifle. Joey wanted to go see the dance. Ross and Joey wanted to go see the dancers, right? Joey's new roommate, because Chandler had just moved in with Monica. So they don't want people to be disappointed in the truffle, so Rachel will have to make it again. So like everybody tell him it's good, and Joey's like giving him hints on how to pretend it tastes good. Go and then Monica actually does it. She goes, rubs her belly.
Because Rachel like messed up the recipe or something, right?
Right. She put beef and beans, sauteed with peas and onions.
Okay, number 7 is the one when Ross finds out, and that is iconic friend scene. That anytime they talk about Ross and Rachel's romance, they talk about
the prom video. Yeah,
they're in, not the prom video. Ross finds out when they're in Central Perk. And they're yelling and screaming at each other, and then
she
Ross
can't open the door.
Can't get the door open, and that's like their first kiss besides the laundromat. It's like their first real kiss.
Right. Yeah,
because they kissed
like,
so long.
He answered the phone, or he checked his voice messages and said, "You're over me. When were you under me?" Right. That's the episode, right?
When were you under me? Yeah.
Yeah. I like the prom episode better.
They had the friends. I mean, some would say The Office took a lot from the Ross and Rachel relationship with Pam and Jim, and the Pam and Jim relationship seemed a little more realistic to me than the Ross and Rachel one did. But those two scenes remind me of each other when Pam's talking to the camera and Jim says, "Hey, what are you doing today?"
Uh huh.
At the end of season 4, and they end up going on a date. That I mean, I'm a dude. I'm not, you know, some romantic crazy person, but that's one of my favorite scenes of any TV show. Pam and
Yeah,
Jim.
yeah.
And
Tandy,
Michelle
if
has
we're
that same feeling about Ross and Rachel because she watched the show live,
right from the
right? So
beginning.
she was watching the social. She loved that part.
Mm-hmm.
And what you just saw, number 6, the prom video.
That's okay. That's 6 on the list.
Yep, and
Yeah,
that's the
that
one. He's
that
her
one's
lobster, right?
right, and it's funny because they got the jewelry, the Mr. T jewelry. So that's a
Yeah,
funny aspect
and
of the episode.
Ross has the afro, and he's,
I
"Hey,
don't
Mister
remember much.
Carter."
I don't
What?
remember what was Phoebe up to in that episode. Monica and Phoebe.
They
What
were
was
all
their
watching
thing?
the video, right?
No, I
I don't
know,
think
but like,
Phoebe.
what else? They didn't have any other storylines going on in that episode.
Yeah, Phoebe wasn't there, right? Because Phoebe, they didn't know Phoebe then, right? Joey wasn't there
Well,
either,
no,
was he?
not in the prom video. The whole episode wasn't just the prom video,
No, I know. They were
but
all
Phoebe
watching
was there to watch it.
the lobster, and Phoebe was talking about the lobster, and the lobsters stay together and stuff. But the prom video is the star, right?
Right.
And they Ross has his afro, and Rachel has the nose, and Kip
Uh-huh.
is there, and
Yeah.
that
Chip,
episode, by
isn't
the
it
way,
Chip? It's
yeah,
Chip.
Chip. No, it's
Kip
Kip.
was the old roommate. Chip was the date.
I don't know. The episode's called the one with the Kips.
The one
The
with the
one with
Kips is
Joey
the one.
finds out.
The one with the Kips is the one where Joey finds out because everyone
That was
leaves. They lift right out like Kip did.
Oh,
Right?
that's
Kip
that's right.
Kip was Chandler's old roommate.
You're
Chandler
right.
or Chip was the date who Monica went on a date with in season 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was still working at the movie theater. And Tandy and I use that line all the time. He goes, "Oh yeah, like I'm going to quit that job. By the way, I can get you all the movie posters and free popcorn you want." And Monica goes, "Thanks, I'm set." And
Yeah, you guys.
Tandy and I use that line all the time. I'm like, "Babe, you want some Chinese food?" And she goes, "Thanks, I'm set."
Okay, number 5, Chandler in a box. So that's
Yeah,
the
another
one when Joey finds out that Chandler cheats on, or that Chandler gets with
right. He
Joey's
kissed
Kathy.
Kathy, right?
Yep, Kathy.
He kissed Kathy, and after he was dating Joe. And even though they weren't really exclusive, because Joey had a date with some other girl that day, but Joey took it to heart, and I get why he would. Because all he had to do was talk to him, and Joey would have backed off because he probably didn't like her enough
Chandler was
to.
going to, but just the timing had,
Right.
she was there and they had the haircut, right, and all that.
Yep.
And so
But
then
that's
Joey's in the box, or Chandler's in the box, and that was funny. Chandler in the box was funny.
right. That's
Well,
another thing they had at least my experience, because I hear some of the props are different depending on where you go, but they had a big old box, and there was a whole setup with a speaker with Chandler talking to you out of that speaker.
oh, that's funny.
So that was pretty
Come
fun.
up and wave, and
They didn't have a finger come up.
let
Nope.
go.
They didn't have a finger.
There's a good thinking in there. All right, number 4. Everyone finds out. Everybody knows.
Everybody
that.
finds out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the.
They don't know. We know. They know. They know.
And poor Joey stuck in the middle. I just want to
Right.
watch cartoons.
And that's when Phoebe's like, "My bra is showing."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's funny. It's
Like-
good.
Like, that's the kind of subtle humor I like in a TV show or in a movie. It's not even a funny line. It's not a clever line, but the way Chandler delivers it, or Matthew Perry delivered it, was absolutely hilarious. When Phoebe shows up for the date, he opens the door and goes, "Phoebe," and she goes, "Chandler," and he goes, "Come on in." Just the way he says it was fucking hilarious. So, yeah, people say, "Oh, the writers are the real geniuses." They are. They come up with the stuff, but they can't deliver it all the time like an actor can, and
Right.
a comedian could.
Right.
And that's where you got to remember to give credits to the actors.
Okay, number 3, the one with the embryos. So if people might not know which one that is, that's the one when the boys
contest.
versus the girls, and they have that contest, the trivia contest to see who knows each other. You think you know you better than we know, them. That one, and they end up switching the apartments. It's called the embryos because he ends up pregnant at the end.
That's one of Rachel's funniest episodes when she's all mad in the morning because the rooster woke her up.
Yeah.
Monica goes, "Man, you are not in the morning." And she's pounding like, "Get up."
That's another good Chandler moment. What is that noise? And he goes, "You."
Matthew Perry.
Funny. That's not mornings here, is it?
No, that's when they win it back. Right.
Mornings here. And Ray's just so mad and joking. Like, I love that guy.
And at the end, he's singing with him again. See you tomorrow. Okay.
What's Chandler's job? He's a transponder. That's not even a word. All right, here's a trivia question: who does the mail come to? Let the people who watch our shows think about it for a minute. Who gets the TV guide delivered to their? Who is it? Who's the TV guide?
Tell you?
I want you to wait for a little bit and then tell me.
Okay.
Go ahead. They know they've had a chance.
Who the TV guide
delivered to?
Is to Miss Chenandler Bong.
That's right. Miss Chenandler Bong.
That's another thing they kind of recreated on the reunion show. I thought that reunion show was done so well. I think if you're going to do a reunion show, that's the way you're going to do it. To have them kind of read out the scenes again and bring in, a lot of the reoccurring guests. And did Tom Selleck show up to that?
Yeah.
I know the parents did. Ross,
I just watched a little bit ago. Yeah, and Gunther did like a remote.
Right before he passed away too.
Yeah. Maggie Wheeler was there.
Maggie Wheeler. Oh, who don't love Janice?
I love Maggie Wheeler and everything she does. On Seinfeld, she's so good. She's on everything as Raymond. She's really good.
That's what I said.
On a Curb too.
When we're talking about the finale, I said they need to bring back Janice one more time.
They did.
Sure enough, boom, there she was. I was very happy to see Janice. Love Janice.
Okay, number 2.
We're at number 2 already.
The one with all the football.
Yep, another classic Thanksgiving episode.
That one made it so high is because it's Jaden's favorite episode. So
it was my top 5, right?
Yeah, it was in there. It's good. It's funny. The Dutch girl and Joey, where do the Dutch people live?
Phoebe's distracting the guys by flashing them, and Monica and Ross are fighting.
Isn't that the first time you see Monica's competitive side?
No, because they talk about it in the poker episode. They talk about her throwing something across the room playing Pictionary.
Oh yeah, that's a good episode too.
Yeah. But
one of mine that didn't make it is the Blackout. I really like the Blackout. I think that one.
Yeah, I thought Jaden had the Blackout in his. No,
just me.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting very close to just repeating the funny jokes, but yeah, people can tell us what their favorites are. We want to know what your favorite episodes of Friends, because number 1. It was number 1 for me and you and Michelle, and it was number 2 for Jaden. It's season 3, episode 2, the one where no one's ready.
I mean, we could each play a character in that show, in that episode, right? Mm-hmm. If we're watching it, I'm not saying we could do it, like unscripted or anything, like right now, try to recreate it. But if we're watching it right now, one of us could just be every character, and we'd be able to go right along with the show.
For sure. Joey was fat.
Right. And it's such a good concept of, it's such a good idea of arguing over, is that his seat or not? You're allowed to go to the bathroom and still claim the seat.
Okay,
right?
Hold on. I do have something to say about that, but I want to quick discuss what the episode is, right? So Ross is going to be speaking at some banquet, and they're all going to watch, and they're getting ready. Monica and Tom Selleck, Richard just got a divorce, so there's some some
Well, they
stuff
broke up.
going there. And Ross and Rachel are dating, and Phoebe's ready, and nobody else is ready.
But then Phoebe spills something on her shirt. Rachel can't pick out a dress. Monica is obsessed with
A voicemail,
yes, that
answering
was
machine.
left on her phone.
Yeah.
And
So it's they made the episode because they had like low budget, so they didn't want to have a lot of sets, a lot of scenes, a lot of
right,
moving with the cameras, a lot of other actors and stuff. So they did it all. It's all in real time. There's no delays. There's no 5 minute later, nothing like that. It all
right,
happens in those 22 minutes or whatever it is.
right.
Um,
It reminds me
so
of the
yeah.
episode where Ross can't flirt.
Oh,
Whenever
yeah,
I
that's
see that
fun.
episode, I think of the one where no one's ready because they're all in either Monica or Joey's apartment, and it's all right then and there. They're not going anywhere. They're all together. They're not separated. No one's off doing this and that, and they're just all kind of consumed by the same thing, which is in that episode trying to impress Joey's grandma with the scene that he's in what is it, Law and Order?
It's funny. The one when no one's ready. So what you talked about is it a seat? I got in that situation, right, where there's lots of seats and there's 6 of them there. I'm going to take Chandler's side. He went to the bathroom and he lost his seat. Chandler should get his seat back. Joey's being a dick. Right? Joey's being a dick.
Right.
However, I've been to many parties where there's not a lot of seating. There's a lot of people there. Some people you don't even know. And
Right.
if you get up and go to the bathroom, you're losing that seat because you can't
hog it. You can't hog it with a big party.
Right. So if you go to the bathroom, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
You're out. Once you're on your feet, lose your seat. But in that situation, the 6 of them, they shouldn't. Yeah, Chandler.
Plenty of other chairs. There's a kitchen table is right there. They could still talk from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, my bad, Chandler. Here you go. You can take it.
And fat. I drank fat. That's. He's we'll taste it. Yeah, I just did.
I did that 10 minutes ago. Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was revenge for letting him drink fat.
That's gotta be it. It's gotta be it. So that's our number one. The one when no one's ready. That's the one with the iconic.
I gotta think we're pretty close. Like, to me, some of the misses were I thought about the episode with the couch, because I love Pivot, and Unagi. I freaking love Unagi. That's one of the later season episodes that I really liked. Yeah, I like some of the episodes with Bruce Willis when Ross is at the cabin with Bruce Willis's daughter, and Bruce Willis and Jennifer Aniston show up, and he's got to hide and stuff. And
one that
Bruce Willis
showed up in the dollhouse. The one with
dollhouse was funny. The ski trip that never happened when they're stranded at the site. That
Baby on a bus showed up.
I didn't like Baby on a Bus.
It's okay.
I never cared
the
for
one
that
with the routine. I mean, just the routine is funny. Eddie Won't Go. That's a really good one.
Yes, the Eddie episodes are funny. What's his name again?
Eddie.
Yeah, I've actually talked to him before. When I was working in radio, he was a guest, and I was the phone screener, so I got to talk to him for 2 seconds.
One of the ones that Michelle likes is the one with all the cheesecakes. When they're eating
That's another later season episode. Is that the one where Chandler and Jen and Rachel are eating cheesecake off the hallway floor?
Mm-hmm. And gross. Joey's like, "What are you guys doing?" He pulls the fork out of his pocket.
He says, "What are we eating?" I like the one with the parties, the 2 parties.
That's good.
And Chandler's like, "Quick, what would Jack and Chrissy do?"
Yeah. Quick, what would
that was a good episode.
Wait, this is the one where there's misunderstanding. There's a couple of Three's Company references. There's a couple of Three's Company out there.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, it's now a classic. It's weird to me to think that, when we were kids and you put on Nick at Night, it was Leave It to Beaver and Donna Reed and, the Dick Van Dyke Show, Dennis the Menace, shows like that. 8 is Enough, or the Danny Thomas Show, or whatever. Yeah, and now those freaking shows, the shows that we fucking watch,
right?
Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and
there's more time between now and Friends than when we first started watching Dick Van Dyke Show and the Dick Van Dyke Show, right? Think about it. When we were in the 80s, the 60s felt like so long ago, but now that's like 2000.
Well, I feel like we started watching Dick Van Dyke in the 90s, the early 90s.
I started in the late 80s, but not. I didn't start recording it in the 90s, but I was watching it when I was babysitting Josh Gravel. It was the late 80s, and they didn't have cable. It was on Fox. It was on Fox during the day, and I started watching it. But,
oh, that's such a good show.
So yeah, we just wanted a quick talk about Friends because
pay a little homage to Matthew Perry.
Well, leave a comment about us or leave a comment to tell us about your favorite Friends episode.
Did we get the list right? What are the episodes that you felt should have been on there?
Respect the pick.
Right.
They have no choice but to respect.
Some of those episodes, they're locks. You know, even in the reunion episode, they mentioned the one where no one's ready. You know, and the prom video, and the one a big one, the one where Ross and Rachel first bang.
We
that
had
didn't make the list. Oh, we did.
We talked about it, but we skipped. Remember, I was going to mention that.
Oh, okay.
It was tied with the jellyfish, and then we never really brought it back up.
Oh, okay.
The one when they go to the date at the planetarium, and he rolls over on the juice box. And that one, yeah. What
She's like, sweetie, that's okay.
Right. What are the other guys doing that one?
The juice box. That's Chandler and Joey wouldn't get out of their chairs. So they're having food delivered across the street so they would bring it to them. I'd say, fuck that. You want the fucking food, you come over here and get it. Huh?
If you ring 4, there's no tip for you.
But if I'm Monica and Rachel, I'm not bringing that food over. You want this food, you come and get it.
Beavis and Brian is so funny. And then, all right, guys, I'm taking off my shirt. Nah, she's lying.
He's got a mirror.
No, he's using a spoon. He's using a spoon.
That's the episode where Monica and Tom Selleck first got together, too, because she's catering. Yeah.
Monica's
that's a classic. That's another classic.
Twinkie in the City.
Yep, that's the very next episode, which is another really good episode. The one where Monica's parents find out they're having that party for Jack. They're having a birthday party, and they end up fooling around in the bathroom, and Monica's in the shower, hiding. That's another good episode.
An joke, but, oh well.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess
just
that's
under
it.
An hour.
Yeah, 48 minutes. Here's Joey wearing all of Chandler's clothes. No, that's funny. That's funny to me right there in that episode because he's hiding. He hides his underwear, right? And I'm going to do the opposite. And it's like, I'm trying to think, what is the opposite of hiding? But that's it.
Show him all my clothes.
My clothes? Right? And that's another one of those, that Chandler Bing way of delivering the joke that we took into our, personas for, 15 years.
But why do you even pick that as a way to get back at someone? The opposite of what they did to you. How do you even choose that?
You're gonna hide my clothes? I'm gonna do the exact opposite to you. What are you gonna show me my clothes?
So another thing about Matthew Perry and Friends, you got to realize he said the first words of the show and he said the last also, because he's explaining his dream, and then someone at the last episode, someone says, "Do you guys want to go get coffee first?" And Chandler goes, "Where?"
Yeah,
very funny. So, R.I.P. Matthew Perry. Thank you for years of entertainment.
That's right. Thank you, Matthew Perry. People are gonna, we're gonna have people, our wives, our sisters are gonna tell us that we're, hypocrites.
Why are you doing this? You guys have hated on Friends for so many years now. Because
we did.
Like I said, we had a falling out with Friends a little bit, but it's only because, we found new shows that we think are smarter and more funny and deeper.
To me, Friends is very much like Big Bang Theory. Just everybody likes it. It's just a lot of low-hanging fruit. It's just not anything spectacularly clever.
See this face? See the look on this face? That's the face I make when anyone ever brings up the Big Bang Theory.
You've
The
never
show's
even watched it.
Yes, I have. I watched a bunch of episodes because Tandy watched it when I wasn't home. I get home from work, she's still watching it. I got stuck watching quite a few episodes, and it's god awful,
Well, I wouldn't call it God.
terrible.
Okay, everybody, please give us a like and a subscribe.
Subscribe, and this podcast is coming soon to your favorite podcast host near you.
Because the YouTube
Amazon.
stuff, it's too long for YouTube.
Right. We're coming to Amazon. We're coming to Spotify. We're coming to Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. We're working out the kinks, and we're going to get it there.
Comments. I want more comments.
Yeah. Give us some comments. I mean, what's not to comment about?
Don't be a dick. What episode? Which Friends episode do you like? We
Could you comment any less?
We don't get enough comments. All right, that's it.
We don't.
We'll see you guys.